Good morning, everyone. Let's continue the same chapter, globalization, with the next topic, interlinking production across countries. In general, MNCs set up production where it is close to the markets, where there is skilled and unskilled labor available at low cost, and where the availability of other factors of production is assured. What we have studied in these lines, what we read, children, MNCs always set up their production centers in those places at those centers from where they can get or where they have access of the markets and where there is skilled and unskilled labor are available to them at cheap cost, where the labor are ready to work for less wages and for more hours. They always need such kind of labor who takes less from them and give them more in terms of profit. They always require such labor which works for more working hours and take less wages from them, and where the availability of other factors of production is assured, means where there is surety whenever they will start their productivity, there is easily availability of factors of production. What are those factors of production? Land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. In addition, MNCs might look for government policies that look after their interest. In addition, what MNCs want, they always look for such kind of government policies under which government take interest in their production activities, in their plans, so that they can get some credit facilities from the government, or you can say grants from the government. You will read more about the policies later in the chapter. You will read some more policies later in the chapter. Having assured themselves of these conditions, MNCs always set up their factories and their offices where they can access these facilities easily. What are those facilities? Skilled and unskilled labor. Their production center they always set up where markets are close to them, from where they can easily purchase raw materials and other factors of production are easily available to them. So, the money that is spent to buy assets, what are those assets? Land, building, machines, and other equipments, and the expenditure which will be done on these assets, that is land, building, machines, is known as investment. I repeat, the money that is spent to buy assets such as land, building, machines, and other equipments is called investment. Now, what do you mean by assets? Asset refer to that things whose cost value is higher and can be used for several years. Investment made by multinational corporations is called always foreign investment. Let me clear you this term foreign investment. Children, an investment made by multinational corporations is called foreign investment. There are two types of investment: foreign direct investment and portfolio investment. About foreign direct investment, economist is discussing in your NCERT book. It is an investment from a party in one country into a business or corporation in other country with the intention of establishing a lasting interest, means their motive is trade and profit. Children, it requires higher level of investment. Foreign direct investment is usually undertaken by multinational corporations, or you can say companies, or large institutions, or big firms also. Whereas foreign portfolio investment refers to investment in the financial assets of a foreign country, such as stocks or bonds. Is it understood? Financial assets, that is stocks or bonds, not on the whole company. In foreign direct investment, investors having full control, but in portfolio investment, investors having partial control, because under it the investors just purchase the shares or bonds. By this, they not become the owner of that company. At times, MNCs set up production jointly with some of the local companies of these countries. Now question arises, why these MNCs set up their productions combinedly or jointly with the local companies? What is their motive behind it? Obviously, when a company start their business, they always work for profit. Their motive is cost should be minimized and profit should be maximized. So, what is their motive? Let me start reading and I'll explain. The benefit to the local company of such joint production is twofold. इससे छोटी मोटी कंपनीज को काफ़ी फ़ायदा हो जाता है. The first is MNCs will provide additional investment in their small companies, by which they will be able to purchase new machineries, new land and building maybe sometimes. Moreover, their production will start there. Before that, maybe they are not working. Their production stopped due to some reasons. But when these MNCs start their investment in those small local companies, when investment will come to these small companies, they will start production. By this, employment will generate, some income will generate for them. Side by side, the motive of MNCs will be fulfilled very easily. Now, secondly, why these MNCs are interested in local companies? MNCs might bring with them the latest technology for production, which is far away from the local companies. When they will provide their technologies in the local companies, they will start understanding these new concepts. They will start producing goods on such new machines. They will start understanding those new techniques. Labor will be more laborious, they will get more laborious. By this, their income will be start side by side. But the most common route for MNC investments is to buy up local companies and then to expand production. Commonly, what MNCs do is they buy local companies and then to expand production. Instead of doing investment, they try to buy those local companies. MNCs with huge wealth can quite easily do so. Those having huge money, they easily can do this activity. They can easily purchase those local companies, because these companies don't have money to continue with the production activity. Sometimes they stop working. Sometimes those small companies become bankrupt. They are unable to pay even their debt to the banks. In that case, these MNCs purchase these small local companies. To take an example, Cargill Foods, a very large American MNC, has bought over smaller Indian companies such as Parak Foods. I am reading an example for you children, listen carefully. Parak Foods had built a large marketing network in various parts of India, where its brand was well reputed. Also, Parak Foods had 4 oil refineries whose control has now shifted to Cargill. Reason behind unable to continue with the production. Cargill is now the largest producer of edible oil in India, with the capacity to make 5 million pouches daily. This is an example for you children. In fact, many of the top MNCs have wealth exceeding the entire budgets of the developing country governments. With such enormous wealth, imagine the power and influence of these MNCs. Obviously, when you have power, when you have money, when you have more wealth in your hands, your power automatically raises. There's another way in which MNCs control production. Large MNCs in developed countries places orders for production with small producers. Those who are small producers, they give orders to them so that they can take such productivity at low cost from them, and afterward they put their tag on those products and sell those productivity in the market at higher prices. Examples are given: garments, footwear, sports items are such examples of industries where production is carried out by a large number of only small producers around the world, but their productivity these MNCs purchase at low prices and sell with their own brand names in the market to the general customers by giving their own brands, by using their own labeling, packaging. Their products become more attractive and then they sell their productivity at higher prices to the consumers. These large MNCs have tremendous power to determine price, quality, delivery, and labor conditions for these distant producers. Thus, we see that there are a variety of ways in which the MNCs are spreading their production and interacting with local producers in various countries across the globe. I think this concept is clear to you. By setting up partnerships with the local companies, by using the local companies for supplies, or by closely competing with the local companies or buying them up, MNCs are exerting a strong influence on production at these distant locations. These are the certain ways through which MNCs purchasing, maybe local companies, they are doing investments in these companies, or maybe they are purchasing these. Clear? By this, MNCs are continuing with their production activities and they have huge influence on the market, because at the distant location they are taking production activities from different persons, they are providing work to them, workers are getting employment. As a result, production in these widely dispersed locations मीन्स जो बिखरी हुई हैं, दूर दूर जगह हैं, अलग अलग प्लेसेस से काम लिया जा रहा है, बट स्टिल दे आर इंटरलिंक्ड बिकॉज द प्रोडक्टिविटी विल transferred at a particular distant place from where this productivity will go to the other markets, local or international markets. This topic is completed here. Take reading of this complete topic from your book. If there is any query, you can ask in the WhatsApp group. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.